Chosen one, listen closely. This message finds you not by accident, but by divine appointment. Right now, the heavens are leaning closer to your life, and something sacred has already begun to shift. You may not see it fully yet, but you can feel it like a quiet stirring in the atmosphere around you. And the reason is this: a prayer has been released, not by your own lips, but by the voice of someone bound to you in blood and spirit. Your daughter's prayer has just touched the courts of heaven, and in that moment, a door that had been shut for generations creaked open. You know what it feels like to carry the weight of unanswered prayers, to walk through seasons where heaven seems silent. But this time, something different is happening. This time, God chose a child to speak what you could not. A child's words, pure and unshaken by doubt, broke through walls of delay that your enemies thought could never fall. Do you see the beauty of it? While the world underestimated you, heaven elevated the ones connected to you, weaving your destiny together like threads of light stretching across eternity. Chosen one, you are rare. You are not ordinary. That's why your life feels so heavy at times, why your battles are so intense, and why your spirit cannot rest in shallow waters. You were created to step into realms that most cannot even imagine. And now, because of a single prayer, because of a cry that rose with innocence and faith, the spiritual locks that have kept you bound are snapping one by one. The very door you thought you had missed is swinging open in front of you, and what's behind it will change not only your life, but the lives of everyone tied to your name. But I must warn you, what is being opened is not just a blessing, it is a responsibility. This door is not casual, it is not small, it is heavenly, and it carries the weight of destiny. That is why you must pay attention to every word spoken here. For in the moments ahead, you will learn what has been set in motion, what it requires of you, and how the very forces that once mocked you will soon tremble at the power of your obedience. Chosen one, stay here. Do not drift. What is about to be revealed is bigger than your imagination, deeper than your fears, and closer than your breath. The heavenly door has opened. Now, it is time to understand what waits beyond it. The air is heavy with significance, as if unseen hands have already begun to move pieces across a divine chessboard. You can sense it. This isn't imagination, it is alignment. Heaven does not open doors without purpose, and when it does, it signals that timing has matured and destiny has ripened. What has been long delayed is now being summoned forward. This message does not come from human reasoning or the comfort of imagination. It comes from the authority of the one who speaks worlds into being, the one who hears every whisper in the dark, the one who counts the tears you thought were wasted. The sound you hear inside your spirit is not just hope trying to survive, it is God's assurance that the breakthrough is real, that the door is not a mirage. For too long, you have carried the suspicion that your prayers vanished into silence. Yet heaven was recording each one, storing them like seeds in divine soil, waiting for the right rain to fall. And then came the voice of innocence, the cry of your daughter. Heaven recognized her sound because it carried no agenda, no fear, no self-interest, only the purity of faith. That sound collided with the prayers you buried years ago, and together they formed a key. That key turned, and the lock gave way. You need to know this: God is not careless with timing. He allows seasons of waiting, so that when the moment arrives, nothing and no one can deny that it was Him who made it happen. This is such a moment. The Spirit testifies to you even now that what you are hearing is not just encouragement, it is instruction. It is heaven's call for you to prepare your heart and align your steps with what has already been released. Do not underestimate what is unfolding. This is not just about your life. It extends into your lineage, your bloodline, and those who will come after you. When a heavenly door opens, it does not only affect the present moment, it alters the course of history for generations. That is why the atmosphere feels charged, why your spirit feels restless yet awakened. Something is shifting, and you are standing on the threshold of it. There will be confirmation, and you will not have to strain to recognize it. In the coming moments, signs will make themselves clear, reminding you that you are not imagining this. But before those signs appear, you must ground yourself in the truth. The God who cannot lie has spoken, and he has chosen this exact time to reveal what had been concealed. So let your heart lean in, let your ears sharpen to hear the frequencies of heaven. You are not being invited into a vague encouragement, but into a holy summons. A summons that requires courage, faith, and surrender. For the door that has opened will not close, and what lies beyond it will demand the truest version of who you are. The door has opened, and with it comes revelation that was hidden in plain sight. You are standing at the edge of a shift that will echo through every corner of your life. It will not arrive quietly, nor will it blend into the ordinary patterns of your days. No, this is the kind of move that rearranges the atmosphere, that makes even your enemies pause and wonder what force is at work around you. The vision is this: a door swinging wide, light flooding into a darkened hallway where you have stood too long. Behind that light, there is movement, blessings, opportunities, connections, and revelations rushing toward you like a river released from a dam. For years, the flow was blocked, slowed by resistance, diverted by the unseen battles in the spiritual realm. But now, the current has been unleashed. The prayer of a child has struck like lightning against the dam, and it cracked, it broke, it surrendered. Now the water rushes forth. But hear this carefully. The prophecy is not only about what comes to you, it is about what flows through you. The door that has opened is not just a door of receiving, but a door of transmission. You will become the vessel through which others are delivered, healed, awakened, and lifted. What was withheld from you will now pour out of you. That is why the shift feels so heavy on your spirit, because it is not a small thing. It is inheritance, it is mantle, it is responsibility. You will see it in subtle ways first. Strangers will speak words that confirm what you already sense. Dreams will intensify, carrying symbols that glow with meaning. People from your past, those who once dismissed you, will suddenly circle back, not to mock, but to witness. It will feel as though the world has tilted slightly, aligning circumstances in a way that cannot be explained by coincidence. That is because prophecy has transitioned from being spoken into being lived. Understand this: a daughter's prayer carries a unique authority because it is tethered to the future. Children speak from uncorrupted faith, and when they release their words, heaven often accelerates what had been delayed. This is why the prophetic door opened, not by your striving but by her innocence. It was not your battle-hardened willpower that did it. It was her tender petition. Heaven honored her sound, and in doing so, it honored your lineage. The prophecy reveals a new season, one where hidden treasures are unearthed. The very gifts inside you that were mocked, silenced, or overlooked will be demanded by the world. People will seek you not for what you once were, but for what you carry now. You will become an answer to questions you didn't know others were asking. And when this begins, do not shrink back. Do not disqualify yourself. The door opened because heaven already determined you are capable of walking through it. But with prophecy comes weight. When light breaks into darkness, shadows scatter in resistance. That is why you must hold fast to what you are hearing. You cannot treat this moment as casual, for prophecy unheeded is prophecy wasted. The words released here are not just poetic, they are precise. They are coordinates guiding you into a destiny designed long before you were born. What is coming is restoration. Restoration of what was stolen, of what was delayed, of what was buried under the lies of the enemy. And yet, it will not return in the same shape it left. It will return multiplied, enhanced, carrying glory that outshines the pain of waiting. This is the fulfillment of prayers you thought were lost, resurrected by the sound of one child's voice. So mark this moment. Heaven is declaring over you. The door is open, the flood is released, the mantle is yours. Step forward with trembling if you must, but step forward. For what waits on the other side is nothing less than the life you were always meant to live. What you are walking into cannot be understood only on the surface. The open door is more than a blessing. It is a revelation of spiritual principles that govern the unseen realm. To grasp the full weight of what has been set before you, you must look deeper, beneath the events, beneath the emotions, into the architecture of divine timing itself. Every door in the heavenly realm is tied to a principle. Doors open when alignment occurs, when obedience meets timing, when prayer collides with purity, when destiny reaches maturity. This is not about luck. It is not random. It is law, written into the very design of creation. For seasons to change, for new assignments to manifest, for prophecies to materialize, doors must open. And doors open when heaven hears what cannot be ignored. That is why the prayer of your daughter carried such power. Her words were not polished, but they were pure, not rehearsed, but real. Heaven responds not to performance, but to sincerity. A child's prayer vibrates with faith unclouded by doubt, and that vibration travels like sound waves through the chambers of heaven until it touches the Father's heart. That touch moved him to act, not just for her sake, but for yours. Understand this deeply. God often uses the least expected vessels to release the greatest shifts. Why? Because he delights in confounding human expectations. If he had chosen the strong, the powerful, the already established, then the world would credit them. But when he uses the overlooked, the small, the pure-hearted, then his glory becomes undeniable. In this case, he chose the voice of a child to unseal a door that generations of striving could not force open. Think of it like seasons. Winter cannot stop spring when its appointed time arrives. No matter how cold the wind, how thick the snow, the earth begins to thaw, buds begin to bloom, and life pushes through frozen ground. That is what this moment represents. The long winter of delay has ended, and spring has been announced. The prayer was the first flower, the first sign that the season has shifted. And once the season shifts, nothing can hold it back. But you must also understand the journey of storms. Doors are not always preceded by peace. They are often preceded by turbulence. Lightning flashes before the sky clears. Waves roar before the calm arrives. The turbulence you have felt in recent days, the strange emotions, the sudden resistance, the unexpected challenges, are not signs of failure. They are labor pains. They announce that something is being born. Just as a storm shakes the atmosphere before the rainbow appears, so too does your spirit shake before destiny manifests. The deeper meaning is this: the door represents transition from survival to overflow. For too long, your prayers have been about getting through, making it, holding on. Now, the Spirit declares a shift into more than enough, into abundance of wisdom, favor, opportunities, and spiritual authority. It is not just survival, it is inheritance. And inheritance is never earned, it is bestowed. This is why you must not think you are unworthy. Worthiness was never the requirement. Sonship and daughtership were. The imagery of a door also speaks of choice. A door can stand open, but you must decide to walk through. You cannot remain at the threshold, staring into what could be, yet refusing to step forward because of fear, guilt, or hesitation. Heaven has done its part in opening it. Now the responsibility rests with you to cross the threshold. Each step you take forward declares agreement with God's will. Each act of faith moves you deeper into the reality prepared for you. Do not miss the timing. Destiny is like a river. It does not wait at the shore for those who are unsure. It flows, and you must step into it while it passes before you. That is why the Spirit presses urgency into your heart even now. It is not to create panic, but to awaken your courage. The time is now. The door is open. The river is flowing. Walk forward. The meaning behind all this is layered, but at its core it is simple. God has honored a child's prayer to remind you that his promises are never forgotten. The delay was never denial. The silence was never absence. It was preparation. And now, through the most unexpected vessel, he has announced that preparation is over. It is time for manifestation. Let this truth steady your spirit. The door is not just access to blessing, it is access to a deeper union with the one who holds all doors. This is not about the gift alone, it is about the giver. He is drawing you closer, calling you higher, inviting you deeper. For when the door opens, it is not only the path ahead that changes it, is your heart that is transformed forever. And now, you may be asking, how will I know this is real? How will I discern whether what has been spoken is truly unfolding in your life? Heaven does not leave you without evidence. When God opens a door, he places markers along the way, signs in the natural, and whispers in the spirit that confirm what has been released. These are not coincidences. They are divine fingerprints pressed into your journey. One of the first signs will be in your dreams. What once felt scattered or meaningless will suddenly carry clarity. You may see doors, keys, light breaking through cracks, or even hear voices calling you forward. Dreams are heaven's language of confirmation, and when the spiritual realm stirs, your subconscious becomes the canvas for God to paint his messages. Another sign will come through repetition. Pay attention when the same phrase, the same scripture, or the same image keeps appearing around you. Whether it is in conversations, songs, or even something as small as a passing billboard, these echoes are not random. They are heaven's way of saying, yes, this is for you. Pay attention. The door is open. There will also be shifts in your relationships. Some people will suddenly draw closer to you, compelled by a light they cannot explain. Others may distance themselves, uncomfortable with the weight of your new assignment. Do not be alarmed. This is confirmation. God prunes your circle to prepare the soil for new growth. Who remains and who departs is not rejection or favoritism. It is alignment. Another sign will appear in timing. Situations that once felt stuck will begin to move. What was delayed for months or years will suddenly progress quickly. Emails will come, calls will arrive. Opportunities will align with little effort on your part. It will feel as though the atmosphere itself is cooperating with you, because it island. The same hand that opened the door is guiding the steps that follow. You may also notice unusual peace in moments where you would normally feel anxious. This is perhaps the most overlooked sign, yet it is among the most powerful. Peace that surpasses understanding will anchor you, even when circumstances seem uncertain. That peace is not from you, it is from God, sealing his word in your spirit and protecting you from fear as you step through the threshold. And finally, pay attention to the prayers of others around you. When people suddenly begin speaking blessings over you without knowing what you are going through, that is confirmation. When a child, a friend, or even a stranger releases words that echo what heaven has already spoken, that is God assuring you that you are not imagining things. These are the signs that follow the opening of a heavenly door. They will not shout, but they will persist. They will not confuse you, but they will challenge you to believe. And as you recognize them, your faith will rise. You will no longer wonder if the prophecy is true. You will walk with confidence that heaven has already placed its seal upon your life. Yet with every open door comes resistance. Heaven never releases something of great value without drawing the attention of opposition. You must understand this. What rises to bless you also stirs forces that seek to hinder you. These are not punishments, but tests, refinements of your character, stretching of your faith, sharpening of your discernment. One challenge will be the temptation to doubt. Even with signs around you, your mind will whisper, what if I'm imagining this? What if nothing really changes? Doubt will come disguised as logic, trying to pull you back into the old pattern of disbelief. This is not random. It is the enemy's attempt to close the door in your perception, even though heaven has already opened it. You must hold firm to the evidence of faith, not just the evidence of sight. Another challenge will be fatigue. The battles you've faced leading up to this moment have already taken much from you, and now as you step into greater things, you may feel waves of weariness. It may seem easier to settle where you are than to push forward, but remember, fatigue is not a sign of failure. It is a sign you are carrying weight, meant to grow you stronger. Pressing through fatigue is how endurance is built. There will also be distractions, opportunities that look good but are not God, doors that appear open but lead to confusion. Not every invitation is divine, and not every platform is meant for you. This is why discernment becomes crucial. You must learn to pause, to listen for the still, small voice that separates what is holy from what is hollow. People may also rise against you. Those who once celebrated you may turn silent or even critical. This too is a test. The shift in your atmosphere exposes the intentions of hearts around you. Do not let rejection pierce your spirit. It is pruning, not punishment. Every departure makes room for those who are truly aligned with your destiny. Another challenge is the inner battle with unworthiness. You may hear yourself saying, "Why me? I'm not ready. I don't deserve this." But that is the very reason God chose you. He delights in using vessels who know their dependency on Him. Your weakness is not disqualification. It is the canvas for His strength. And finally, you may face delays that test your patience. Even after the door opens, some manifestations take time to unfold. This waiting is not denial, it is maturation. The fruit ripens slowly, not instantly. Trust that every delay carries purpose, shaping both you and the blessing, so that when you receive it, it will not destroy you, but sustain you. These are the hidden challenges, and they will come. But take heart, they are not meant to stop you. They are meant to prepare you. They are the refining fire that ensures when you walk through the door, you carry not only the promise but also the strength to steward it well. So what must you do now that the door is open? Heaven does not release prophecy without also releasing instruction. To step fully into this new season, there are steps you must take not out of fear, but out of alignment. Think of them not as burdens, but as keys that ensure you walk through the door with strength and clarity. The first instruction is to guard your atmosphere. Pay close attention to what you allow into your spirit in this season. Not every conversation deserves your response. Not every distraction deserves your attention. Keep your heart uncluttered so that you can hear clearly. Create space for silence, for prayer, for listening. This is how you remain sensitive to the whispers of heaven. The second instruction is to speak life daily. Your words carry weight. Heaven has opened the door, but your declarations help sustain the flow. Each morning, declare what God has already promised. The door is open. I walk in favor. I carry inheritance. I am aligned with divine timing. These are not empty affirmations. They are spiritual alignments that echo into the atmosphere. The third instruction is to stay rooted in humility. Blessings can sometimes cause pride to rise, tempting you to think it is by your effort or brilliance. But remember, the door opened by a child's prayer, not by your striving. Let this humility anchor you. Give glory back to God with every step forward. Humility is the shield that keeps the blessing pure. The fourth instruction is to steward your relationships wisely. As new people enter your life, discern their assignment. Some are sent to help you, others to drain you. Ask for wisdom before opening your heart fully. Protect the sacredness of this season by only building where God directs. The fifth instruction is to prepare practically for change. Do not wait for blessings to arrive before you make room for them. Act as though the answer has already manifested. If you are waiting for opportunity, refine your skills now. If you are waiting for provision, structure your finances with wisdom now. If you are waiting for healing, treat your body with care now. Preparation is faith in motion. The sixth instruction is to pray with expectancy. Do not pray timid prayers, half expecting silence. Pray boldly, knowing heaven has already moved. Speak as though you are conversing with a Father who is eager to respond. Pray not just for yourself, but for your family, your children, and generations to come. This multiplies the blessing across your lineage. And the seventh instruction is to resist fear at every turn. Fear is the only weapon that can paralyze you at the threshold. It whispers lies about your future, trying to convince you that the door is an illusion. But fear is powerless against faith. When fear rises, confront it with truth. Speak scripture, recall promises, remind yourself of the evidence already surrounding you. These instructions are not suggestions, they are strategies. Each one ensures that when the blessing fully unfolds, you are ready to carry it. God is not just interested in giving you access, He is interested in preparing you to steward what is given, so it multiplies, not diminishes. So walk carefully, but do not walk timidly. Align yourself with these steps, and you will find that every challenge becomes manageable, every delay becomes purposeful, every sign becomes undeniable. The door is open, but the fullness of what waits inside requires your partnership. Heaven has released the invitation. Now it is your turn to respond. And as you take those steps, know this: you are not walking into this door unguarded. The same God who opened it is the one who surrounds you as you enter. Protection has already been dispatched. Angels have already been stationed. The atmosphere around you is not empty. It is charged with divine guardianship. You may have felt exposed in the past, as though every attack reached you unchecked. But now, a shift has occurred. What once pierced you will fall powerless. What once drained you will be intercepted before it touches you. This is the nature of God's covering when He calls you into a new season. He also cloaks you in a shield fit for it. Picture yourself walking through the open door with a mantle draped over your shoulders. That mantle is favor, and favor itself becomes protection. Where favor goes, opposition cannot succeed. Where favor rests, resistance cannot endure. You will notice how conflicts lose their sting, how threats lose their weight, how even enemies cannot explain why their schemes collapse. That is because heaven has assigned protection, not only over your steps, but over your reputation, your name, your voice. And this protection is not just around you, it is within you. Peace is the armor of your mind, joy is the fortress of your heart, faith is the shield of your spirit. These are not fragile emotions, they are spiritual defenses crafted by God Himself. Even when storms arise, you will find yourself strangely calm, because the one inside you is greater than what rages around you. Think also of your daughter, whose prayer unlocked this moment. She too is wrapped in the same covering. Heaven never moves for one in isolation. It secures the lineage connected. Her innocence has been honored, and in return, her safety is fortified. The door she opened will not expose her. It will shield her. She has become both catalyst and beneficiary of this divine move. So rest in this assurance. You are not stepping into vulnerability, but into victory. Protection surrounds you on every side, not to make you careless, but to make you courageous. The hand of God is over your family, your future, your steps, and even your thoughts. The open door does not lead you into danger, it leads you into destiny, and destiny comes wrapped in heaven's guard. When you step fully through the door, everything begins to change not only around you, but within you. Transformation is not a gradual suggestion here, it is a decisive shift. You will recognize it in the way your thoughts reframe, in the way your heart feels lighter, in the way your spirit stretches wider. It will feel as if a new layer of yourself has awakened, a version that had always been waiting for this exact moment. The first wave of transformation comes in clarity. Confusion that once clouded your path will dissolve. Decisions that used to torment you with hesitation will suddenly appear obvious. It will not be because circumstances became simple, but because your spirit will align with heaven's frequency. Where there is alignment, there is understanding. This clarity is the first fruit of fulfillment. The second wave comes in restoration. Broken places within you, parts scarred by disappointment, betrayal, or delay will begin to heal. The ache that lingered for years will not define you anymore. You will wake up one morning and realize the heaviness has lifted. That moment of realization will bring tears, but not of sorrow, of gratitude. Gratitude because you will see with your own eyes that God wastes nothing, not even pain. Then comes the wave of expansion. Opportunities will appear that stretch you, but instead of shrinking in fear, you will feel ready. Ready to speak where once you were silent. Ready to build where once you hesitated. Ready to love where once you withheld. Expansion will not overwhelm you, because the same grace that opens doors will sustain you as you walk through them. And finally, fulfillment comes in impact. You will see how your obedience doesn't just change your life, it ripples outward. Your family will feel it. Your children will carry it. Even those who doubted you will quietly respect it. The fulfillment of this prophecy is not limited to you. It is communal, generational, eternal. The heavenly door was never meant for one soul alone. It was meant to shift entire bloodlines. In that moment, you will look back at the tears, the nights of silence, the seasons of frustration, and you will see them differently. What once felt wasted will appear as preparation. What once felt cruel will appear as training. The door's opening reframes your history. It redeems it. You will no longer see yourself as one who barely survived, but as one who was strategically preserved for this exact unveiling. And your daughter, the one whose prayer carried the sound that shattered delay, will see it too. She will grow knowing that her words mattered, that heaven listened, that her innocence was a weapon in the spirit. This realization will mark her, shaping her confidence, anchoring her identity. What was unlocked for you will plant seeds in her that grow into her own destiny. This is transformation. This is fulfillment. It is not simply the arrival of blessing, it is the unveiling of who you were always meant to be. The waiting was long, but the reward will outweigh it all. And when you walk through this door, you will understand the scripture that says, "The latter will be greater than the former." Greater peace, greater joy, greater purpose. The prophecy fulfilled will not feel like an ending, but like the true beginning of everything you were created to walk in. And now, as the weight of this word settles in your spirit, you must seal it. Prophecy does not only enter through hearing, it takes root through agreement. Agreement with your words, agreement with your posture, agreement with your faith. Let this moment be one where you anchor yourself in declaration. Speak these affirmations aloud, even if your voice trembles. 1. The door is open, and I will walk through it with courage. 2. What was delayed has been released, and nothing can hold it back again. 3. I am covered, I am chosen, and I am prepared for what lies ahead. 4. Generations connected to me will live under the overflow of this blessing. Let these phrases echo until they carve certainty into your soul. Repeat them in the morning when doubts try to rise. Whisper them at night when fatigue weighs on you. Write them down and keep them where your eyes can see, because these are not mere words, they are declarations of alignment. And as you affirm, receive this blessing. May the God who opened the heavenly door keep you steady as you walk through it. May His light go before you, His presence go with you, and His peace remain within you. May every shadow scatter at your arrival, and may every delay bow to divine timing. May your family be secured, your children be shielded, and your lineage be marked by favor. May your heart remain humble, your faith remain bold, and your spirit remain unshakable. May joy return in full measure, and may gratitude overflow like rivers that never run dry. And when the fulfillment arrives, may you look not only at the gift, but at the giver, knowing that every good thing has always flowed from His hand. This is not just encouragement, it is impartation. The blessing has been released, the prophecy sealed. Go forward in peace, for the heavenly door stands open, and nothing can close what God Himself has declared for your life.